Everybody here knows who he is, but he needs help.
Right now on Up with KREM, one local store owner saying he feels bad for the man who attempted to attack him with swords. The moment all caught on camera.
As we turn the corner from summer to fall, temperatures look to stay pretty warm and may even offer a chance to hit 80 degrees once again.
Approval from the Coeur d'Alene City Council is paving the way for a North Idaho Hockey Academy. A look at the future hopes as interest continues to rise.
Up with KREM begins now.
Hi, good morning everyone. 6 o'clock here on your Wednesday. Welcome to Up with KREM. I'm Tim Pham.
And I'm Channing Curtis. And even though we're getting closer and closer to fall, I feel like we're still trying to take those last moments of summer and that last little bit of warmth that we're experiencing around here. Meteorologist Thomas Patrick, though, is telling us that it's not over just yet. Right, Thomas?
Yeah, that's right. Have you seen that seasons meme before where it's just like summer?
Oh, this is the false.
Yeah, false fall,
Yes.
second summer. I think this is the second summer portion because we had a little bit of that false fall when it was getting a bit colder about a couple weeks ago. Now we're getting returned with some warmth, even though the calendar is officially saying fall as of this Sunday. Even this morning, we got mostly clear skies, a beautiful sun rising coming here. I believe sunrise is exactly 6:30 this morning, so about 30 minutes away from that right now. And the skies will continue to clear out through the day. Any leftover very light showers over North Idaho are moving to the south and out of the region. So we're in for a mostly sunny afternoon and temperatures climbing back up into the upper 70s.
And as you wake up and head out the door this morning, we're taking a live look at I-90 and US 2 where it splits off towards the airport and Airway Heights there. You can see traffic volume starting to pick up in the eastbound lane, seeing some brake lights there at the top of the hill. But overall, there's no major backups that are going to slow you down on your morning commute. On Up with KREM, we bring you live pictures to show you what it looks like before you head out the door. We'll let you know if anything slows you down. Looking ahead, the annual Fall Harvest Festival returns to Beck's Harvest House this weekend.
So that's exactly where we will find our Brandon T. Jones live from Green Bluff this morning. Brandon, it looks like you're behind the counter there. Wait a second. Is that pie?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, no.
Look at that pie.
Yeah, we got to
It's
make our way
huge.
behind the counter because you could say, yeah, you see the pies, right? They say this could possibly be where the magic happens, right? You know, because I know you've got. We're with Todd Beck from Beck's Harvest House, and so Todd, what pies are we looking at over here? This one looks like apple.
I got an apple and a cherry here.
Okay.
We do all kinds of fresh fruit pies all the time,
Yeah.
from peach, apple, huckleberry, berry pies.
Goodness.
This weekend we start the pumpkin pies, pumpkin cheesecakes.
Come on.
Yeah, we're getting into all the fall stuff now.
Getting into all the fall
pumpkin
stuff.
donuts. Yeah, they're made right back here.
Yep. And then you've got ice cream up here
ice
too.
cream,
Yeah. And so, man, it's looking great. It's feeling great this morning. We appreciate you. And then, of course, you know, all the fall festivities are kicking off this week. But something else that is important to talk about is how can people make their way out and what should they do before they come here?
Fall Festival of Green Bluff is a busy time. There's a lot of stuff going on, but a little bit of pre-planning can make it a lot easier for people. Head to our website at becksharvesthouse.com and you can pre-purchase parking to guarantee you an on-site parking spot. Some of the busy weekends we do end up at capacity and we have to turn people away if they don't have a parking spot already before they get here. You can also there buy tickets to the Friendly Family Farm Funland, which does make it a little easier. Tickets for that are also available on site. We just wanted to keep in mind that the parking pass itself, you're buying a specific date. So make sure you look at your calendar, really plan when you want to come out to make sure you're buying the right date. Also, when you look at it, there's arrival times, 10, 12, or 2 o'clock. It doesn't mean you can only be here 2 hours, but we're trying to space the arrivals out. So not everyone in Spokane tries to roll through the gate at 10 o'clock. It can get a little hectic that way. So by spacing out those arrival times, it really helps the traffic flow up here in Green Bluff, makes it easier for you to get up here. Again, plan ahead, pick when you want to come. Bring the family out. It's only $5 for a carload of people. I don't care how many people are in the car. But you're just reserving that spot to make sure that you're on-site parking and not having to park up the road and walk to get in.
Valuable information right there. All right, so make sure you're doing that. Go to their website, and thank you, Todd. We appreciate you. And again, we're live here throughout the entire morning, so stay tuned. We'll have more coming up in the next half hour.
All right, it is 6:05 right now. Let's take a look at some of today's top stories. We're learning more about the victims in last week's deadly gas explosion in Cardiff, Idaho. It killed 2 people and sent 2 others to the hospital with serious burns. 53-year-old Brandon Cook and 62-year-old Wesley Lineberry died last Wednesday. The Clearwater County coroner says both men died from blunt force trauma from the explosion. In the meantime, 2 Atkinson distributing employees, Donnie Billiter and Roxanne Hubbs, were flown to Seattle. This morning, Hubbs remains in critical condition. GoFundMe pages have been set up for both of them. For more, you can find the links on our website at KREM.com. A Washington state agency hired a former police officer involved in a controversial shooting to lecture law enforcement on the use of deadly force. The chair of the Liquor and Cannabis Board says they called the event off out of respect for the shooting victim's family and the fact that the board was caught off guard. Kim Potter was a police officer in Minnesota in 2021 when she shot and killed an unarmed black man. At the time, Potter said that she mistook her gun for her taser, but she served 16 months in prison following a manslaughter conviction. The agency says that moving forward, either the board or the director will be made aware of who's speaking to agency employees. And an update this morning for Washington campers. The Bureau of Land Management has lifted all fire restrictions on public lands managed by the agency. The Bureau is still asking campers to be cautious, though. They say make sure all campfires are completely extinguished and cold before leaving a camping area. And fireworks and exploding targets are also still banned on federal land due to their fire risk. That's a look at this morning's top stories.
Just now starting to get brighter as the moon sets and the sun rises within the next couple minutes here, but our temperatures obviously still feeling very fall-like and cool during the morning hours. That's not going to change anytime soon. 50s and 40s are going to be commonplace moving forward here, but our high temperatures still pretty close to 80 degrees in many Washington locations today. And we're looking at low to mid 70s across North Idaho. A very pleasant, very comfortable day today. In fact, this is going to feel a lot like it did back on Monday, and that day was just absolutely perfect weather-wise. We find ourselves nestled in between 2 storm systems, one over Montana and one moving towards California, but neither of these disturbing the inland northwest today. In fact, our weather pattern is going to start to shape up more and more summer-like through the extended outlook. So we'll show you just how warm those first few days of the fall season are expected to be coming up.
Happening this morning, the Washington Department of Corrections is planning to take its last execution chamber offline. According to the DOC, the so-called death chamber is being shut down at the Washington State Penitentiary in Walla Walla. 78 inmates have been executed there since 1904. The last one taking place at that location in 2010. Here at KREM 2, we bring you more to every story. The move from the DOC comes after Washington Governor Jay Inslee announced a moratorium on the death penalty in 2014, vowing to never sign a death warrant while in office. Later on, the state Supreme Court invalidated the death penalty law in 2018 after ruling it was racially biased. A statistical analysis from the University of Washington found juries were about 4 times more likely to sentence black defendants to death. In Idaho, the Department of Corrections shows there are currently 9 people on death row in Idaho. Brian Koberger and Skylar Mead are both facing the death penalty after allegedly committing crimes in North Idaho. Koberger is accused of murdering 4 University of Idaho students almost 2 years ago. His trial is set to begin in Ada County next summer. Mead is accused of murdering an elderly Julietta man while on the run after escaping custody. His trial is set to begin on February 3rd in Nez Perce County.
A Spokane business owner says he came close to being seriously injured when a neighbor came at him with 2 swords. KREM 2 Shannon Mounty spoke with the man about why he says he feels bad for the suspect.
Well, guys, this is all that's left of a tree outside Zany's Smoke Shop. Court records and security video actually show a guy chopping into it several times with 2 samurai swords. But it's actually what happened next that led to his arrest and assault charges. It's in the name. Zany's Smoke Shop is known for off-the-wall offerings. But what came to Robert Saleb's door Monday
He's chasing me with the knife.
Was something else entirely.
Scaring my customers. So I have customers calling me, telling me they won't shop here because somebody's outside with 2 swords or a sword in their hand.
A neighbor and longtime customer of the shop captured on security video chopping down a tree with 2 samurai swords. Saleb says he confronted the man about it, and that's when things took a dangerous turn.
So he saw me peeking through the gate. That's when he said, "I'm going to kill you." He came through the gate. I backed up. I said, "Calm down, just calm down." He took his sword, swung it, but I was still about 5 feet away from him.
That's when Saleb turned and ran inside, not realizing his potential attacker was right behind him.
And here I come, running back up here, and here he is chasing me with the knives.
That man's now charged with second-degree assault and resisting arrest.
And now he leaves, shows me that he's going to come back.
This is regarding incident at the Zanies.
KREM 2 News is not identifying him, as he's being held until he can have a mental health evaluation. Saleb says he hesitated to even call police because he knows this was a mental health crisis.
When somebody threatens your life, and you come, I didn't even realize how close I came to losing my life with him being right behind me like that.
Saleb says this highlights Spokane's need for some sort of behavioral health intervention or facility to deal with substance abuse, crises, and other issues that sometimes end up on businesses' doorsteps.
There's a lot of low-income people out there that need mental help, but they can't go to a professional down the street, or we can't help but feel sorry for him. Everybody here knows who he is, but he needs help.
Now, that discussion about the need for mental and behavioral health resources is not a new one. In fact, Mayor Lisa Brown hinted at some sort of partnership to create a behavioral crisis center last month, and we reached out to the city to see where those plans are today. We didn't hear anything back. Shannon Mowdy, KREM 2 News.
A move by the DEA to reclassify cannabis could spark major changes for the marijuana industry in Washington. In the next 4 minutes, how businesses across the state could be impacted.